Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to another episode of 52 Haircuts a Year, a vlog where I take you through my journey of cutting my hair 52 times in 1 year. That means if everything goes well, I should be getting my hair cut once a week since the calendar does show 52 weeks in 1 year. This also means I will never really need a haircut since I'll always be nice and trim. Welcome to episode 22, Deuce Deuce. Alright, so this is what we're going to do today. First and foremost, thank you so much if you're a returning viewer and this is your first time watching. I welcome you to today's program. I also invite you to check out my other haircuts so you kind of know what's going on. But this is a vlog where I take you kind of through my journey of cutting my hair 52 times in a year. And I kind of come on here, I tell you what I'm going to do with my hair this week. And then we get into a topic that I came up with usually that week or on my list that I have written down of a bunch of topics that I like to talk about. We're going to talk about it throughout the haircut, and then once I'm done with the topic, this goes on super fast forward and I cut my hair really fast. Then at the end I kind of show you the result of my haircut, and then I give you all my other handles for Instagram and all that good stuff, and I say goodbye. So we're going to get started. Today what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a one clip with a cleaned up hairline, and then also probably again pointy sideburns. In the back, I'm going to attempt to do a really low taper fade. I don't know how that's going to come out. I was just thinking about it today. And I am also going to trim the beard. And that's pretty much it. We're on episode number 22. I'm a little bit behind. I got to go check the calendar and see exactly what week we're on this year. But I do believe I may be behind 1 week, possibly even 2 weeks. So I'm going to use this week to do a trim. So we're going to get an extra video this week just because you kind of skipped one last week, so I'll make it up to you. And I'll probably just come in here and do a quick trim around the edges, and we'll call that a haircut. That'll be episode number 23 hopefully, and then depending on where we're at, maybe we'll do 24 also as a quick, just a little cleanup just to get back. I'll still do a topic and all that, but just want to keep everything on top of it, which is one of the main reasons of doing this vlog, is to hold me accountable to make sure that I don't casually say, I'll just skip this week's haircut. Then this goes from being just a little scruffy to being real scruffy, and then it just, you don't look right, you don't look square, you don't look nice and sharp. I mean, you gotta do it, you gotta look good. You look good, you feel good, you do good things. It's just the way it kind of goes. So let's get started. This week's topic, what I'm going to talk about is why. And it's typically what I say is why I inspire my kids. But in this case, it's going to be a little different. Why my kids inspired me to know, to realize, and to understand that they're their own person, 100%. And we'll get into the whole where that came from and all that good stuff. So like I said, I'm going to do a one clip. We'll start off with that. Probably before we do that, we always do the back lineup first, the guideline. And I do that with my masking tape, with the mirror on the wall. I used to freestyle this, but then one day I kind of casually fell into this mirror. And I said, hey, let's use it. Gotta use the tools. Take advantage of the mirror is that I'm able to do it in one shot. So the topic came up with why my kids inspired me to be my own. I've learned along the way so much with my two kids. They taught me so much. Everything from being patient to knowing, understanding myself as a kid. There's a lot of stuff that I didn't understand on why I behaved certain ways when I was a kid, or why I did certain things, and why I had certain thoughts. And my kids have actually, watching my kids grow up and doing my best to inspire them, I've learned a lot of my behavior growing up, and when I was a little kid, and why there was so much love in my home, and why I started, because there's just so much that they taught me. I'm so sorry that, and I'm paying so much attention on this blind part. I usually don't talk when I do the guideline in the back because it's double mirror, it's reversed. I got tape on my head, and I don't want to mess up, to be honest with you. So I'll just ramble. I'll probably forward this because I said nothing but I. Apartment sorted. Alright, so that's that. That's the line. So, why my kids taught me, well, so watching them grow up, they taught me so much on why I was a certain way and why I had so much, love for my family. Well, just kind of watching them grow up and the love that we gave them as they were growing up, it answers a lot of questions on, why our family was so, close and why, like, for example, why I respect my brother and my sister so much and why I love them so much. Well, okay, probably because my folks instilled that love to us, which is what we've been doing with our kids, inspiring them to love each other and respect and care about each other. So as they get older, their relationship has gotten tighter and tighter. So that kind of like, oh, that's why I'm close to my brother. That's why I'm close to my sister. That's why I respect and I love them. Probably because my folks did this or this something similar to this, I remember they didn't allow me to disrespect my brother, didn't allow me to disrespect my sister. So that's what I mean, how I learned a lot from them as well growing up. Another thing that they taught me, like I said in this video, the topic on why I learned that they're their own person, is there was 2 cycles. My daughter was born, she, grew up, she's an adult now, and then my kid's coming up and he's a teenager. So there's been kind of like 2 cycles that happen, one and the other, and they're both different and the same, they're obviously they're different beings, they're different people, but you kind of have a similar template per se, and you learn with one and you apply with the other. Anybody out there that has 2 kids or more probably understands that you learn with one and you apply with the other, and then so on and so forth. I don't know what it is with 3 or 4 kids because I only have 2. And I learned along the way, exactly when, I couldn't tell you, but I learned one clip, but I learned along the way that they're their own person. There's a segment in their life. I've tried my best to be close, to be open with them. Anybody that tells you that you shouldn't be your kids' friends, I don't think I did. That's their opinion and that's great, but I've always tried to be my kids' friend. Because who do you go to when you have an issue? You go to your friend. Well, what if your parent was your friend? You'd go to them. Anyways, that's another 52 haircut topic. There is a section in my kids' life that I'm not involved with. I'm not with them 24/7. I'm not with them when they go to school. They both went to school outside of the home. I think that's something, if I were to do over, I'd change. I'd probably homeschool both of them. I think homeschool's going to take over. I think I've said that in other vlogs already, that I think homeschool is going to take a whole new, is going to be a whole new light to a lot of people, and a lot more people are going to be homeschooling because they see the benefits of homeschooling. And there's going to be a lot more programs where private teachers come do one-on-ones and you can interview the teacher. But anyways, that's another topic for 52 haircuts. Today we're going to stay on topic. Sometimes I would see my kids in the past and they'd have, see what happens when you don't cut your hair every week? There's a lot more hair to work with. I would wonder, wow, why are they having a bad attitude today? Or why are they walking around with those faces? Or why are they walking around with gloomy, mopey, or upset, or irritable, or angry? And then I had the realization, the understanding that, hey, they're their own person. They could have had issues with their best friend. They could have had issues with the neighbor. They could have issues within themselves, hormonally, if they're changing or whatever. They could have had a little misunderstanding with their friend. But it could be where maybe they do want to share it with you, but just not at that moment. Maybe they will later. Hopefully they will later. Hopefully you've created a platform, a relationship where they will come to you and they will share it with you. But what about if they don't want to share it with you at that moment because they want to share it? They want to share it with mom first, or they want to share it with dad first and your mom or whatever. Or they just want to mow it over a little bit, think about things, get their thoughts together, then they want to come to you. But just right out of the gate, they don't want to come to you, and that's when they come in with their mopey face. Or maybe you say something like, dinner's ready, For example, invite them over to dinner. Dinner's ready. Come on, come on over if you'd like to have dinner. Well, I'm not hungry. Slam or something, brother. Let me give you a classic one like that. Why slam? I don't know. It sounded good. The drawer. We won't say the door. And one, as a parent, gets all upset. Well, I don't know why you have that attitude. That's right. That is exactly where it clicked. I don't know why you have that attitude. No, you don't. And you should respect that. Well, they shouldn't act like that in my home. They're their own person. They're their own being. They could have gone through some stuff. They could have gone through a comment that the teacher said to them, or a neighbor, or, whatever. You don't know. We don't know. We don't know, and we need to respect that. Later on, when you're calm, because maybe your patience is running low, maybe your day was a little bit challenging and you don't know how to handle yourself, maybe that happened the same thing with them. And you're irritable and you're cranky and you're in a bad mood, just that your old boss, your parents, aren't around to tell you, why are you in a bad mood? They're not around no more, right? So now you turn around because you think you're everyone should tippy-toe around you, and the only one that could be in an irritable mood is yourself. So you expect them to always be in a perfect harmony, in perfect harmonious mood, right? Well, what about if they did have a little scuffle with their best friend, and matter of fact, maybe their friend at school said something about you, and they're pretty upset, and they don't want to share it with you because they think it'll hurt your feelings. You'll probably giggle about it, or maybe you won't, I don't know. But maybe they don't want to say anything because they think they'll hurt your feelings, and they're totally hurt, and they're totally feeling emotional about it, and that's why they slam their drawer, and you're thinking it's, they're disrespecting your house, or they're disrespecting you. Maybe they just need some time. And that's when I realized that I had that understanding that I wanted to share it with you guys here on 52, this episode of 52 Haircuts, is, respect your kids as their own person. Respect your kids as their own being. There is a segment of their life that you have nothing to do with. And there is part of their world that you're not there. Let's just say school, or let's just say, sports. If you're not there, if you're not in the classroom, they're dealing with 20 to 30 to 40 other people that could be causing them some sort of a little issue that's causing them to frown a little bit at home, and you're thinking that they shouldn't have an attitude. They shouldn't be their own person. They don't have the right to feel sad, upset, or irritable because someone disrespected them possibly. Just keep that in mind. And that was pretty interesting for me, where I realized that my kids, as they were growing up, they were their own person. And we need to respect that. We need to respect that and give them space. And that's going to do it for today's topic of 52 haircuts. I hope I didn't ramble on too much. This was just something that kind of came up. We were talking about something with my wife, and I was like, you know what, that's a good topic. But this just happened a little while ago. So I didn't have too much time to kind of think about it and put it together in my head so I could speak on it here. So I hope it did make a little bit of sense. Basically, all I came up with that I wanted to deliver was, understand that your child at whatever age is his own person. He's not you. You had a little bit of DNA to do with his coming to fruition, but he is his own being and he is his own person. So we need to, or she. So that's when I understood that I needed to give them their own personal space. Their own personal space to have their own emotions, to have their own issues, and to deal with them. And hopefully I could be the person they come to help them, to guide them, to inspire them to get over these humps and not go anywhere else for the advice, but to come here. Alright, so that's going to do it for today's topic card. I'm going to finish up this haircut, and then I'll come back to you guys at the end to say my goodbyes and kind of show you the end result of the haircut. Enjoy some good music. Go downstairs in the comments and leave a comment. Hit the bell. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Oh, hit the thumbs up if you like my series. I'll be back in a little bit. 2 of 52 haircuts a year. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys left a comment or a question down below. And I'd also like to take this opportunity to invite you to subscribe to my channel, hit the little bell for notifications, and also make your way over to Instagram and search at Mr. Albert Lopez and follow me there on Instagram as well, where I kind of take you through all the stuff that I do. I'm also involved with my dog a lot. I have a Rottweiler. Her name is Valentina. I also hang out with my son a lot. We do some fishing. We talk about business. We talk about entrepreneurship. I do the same with my daughter. She's also a YouTuber, a vlogger, content creator, whatever you want to call it. She's also an esthetician, and she's into beauty and makeup and skincare. So anyways, we have conversations about that over there as well, and we can interact a little bit more. So once again, the link is down below in the description, or like I said, if you want to just open up the app, in the search bar punch in Mr. Albert Lopez, you'll see this face, and then just click follow. Thanks for watching today's 52 Haircuts a Year, episode number 22, and we'll see you all over on Instagram for vintage and out clothing hauls, as well as Mr. Shirt of the Day, as well as Entrepreneur Dad. Thanks so much. We'll see you next time. Bye. Also, I'm going to squeeze it in somewhere, hopefully right here. All right, that's going to do it for today's haircut, and I'm going to do one last turn. This is something that I'm going to do for the first time today. I've never done it before, where I'm going to slowly do a turn and see how it looks. Scope out the haircut. That way you can ask any questions if you're curious on any of the techniques that I use to do self-haircut. So here we go. I hope that worked. Have a good one, guys. Talk to you later. Bye.